She was She wasn't
Hello everyone. I know it has been forever since I uploaded a video, but we're here finally, and Ocean is here. I'm gonna show you guys his face. Everyone has seen him on social media already. So for those of you that don't have social media, this is Ocean. Meet my little boy, my fourth baby boy. Ocean was born February 13th at 11:07 a.m. and he was born 6 pounds 13 ounces. This was by far my hardest labor. Like, his labor was my hardest labor. The delivery part was like a piece of cake, but the labor part was so hard. But I think I did it to myself because I'm gonna be like 100% honest. I did the midwife's brew to help induce myself because I was going to be induced medically the following week, and I did not want to be medically induced because I had experienced that with baby Brian's pregnancy, and it was just awful. It was horrible. So I didn't want to go through it again. And then I did the midwife's brew, but I think that the midwife's brew made my contractions like a lot more intense, and I think it did the same exact thing that I would have done had I been medically induced. So yeah, I did it to myself. So yeah, on Super Bowl Sunday, I was actually having like what I thought was Braxton Hicks contractions, but they were actually like real, like early labor contractions. And I had to go to the hospital for something unrelated to the pregnancy. So when I went to the hospital, they were actually catching my contractions on the chart, on the monitor. And they said that I was contracting often, and they wanted to keep me a little while to see what was happening. So that's what they did. They kept me for a little while, and then they checked me, and I had dilated to a 3. So I think I was 3 centimeters. So they decided to keep me a little bit longer to see if I was gonna dilate more. So they kept me a couple more hours, and I didn't dilate anymore. My contractions actually died down. So I got sent home. So that was Super Bowl Sunday, which was February 7th. And then let me see. So that week I lost the rest of my mucus plug. I had been losing my mucus plug like little by little, leading up, like in the weeks leading up to that week. Ocean's tired and it's kind of late. So I had lost the rest of my mucus plug that week. And then came Friday, I was like, all right, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. So I went out and I bought everything for the midwife's brew, and I did it. I did it at 9 p.m. and by 10:30, I was literally feeling like some small contractions, but like they were real contractions because they were uncomfortable. Oh baby, hold on guys. Let me calm him down. Okay. So, so about like 10:30, I was already feeling some small contractions, and then I went to the hospital and they checked me, and when they checked me, I was 5 centimeters. He was in position -3. If you don't know what that is, that's like basically where his head position in your pelvis. So he was at -3, and I was, I believe, 70%. No, I was 80% phased. So I was 80% phased. So I was contracting. My contractions were feeling stronger. I felt like they were a lot more frequent than what they had been when I was home. So I got to the hospital around like 12 because I had to wait for my mom to come here to stay with the kids. So So yeah, they let me wait it out there. They won't admit me unless I'm 6 centimeters. So I wasn't able to be, like, I wasn't admitted, even though I was 5 centimeters. And even though I was still having like contractions, they was not gonna admit me. So they didn't admit me. And came 5 a.m. They checked me again, and I was still 5 centimeters. I was still 80% of A's, and he was still in position -3. So they sent me home. And I was really frustrated because I was literally like having contractions, like they were becoming more uncomfortable. And I was so frustrated. Like I thought that they would admit me by 4 centimeters, and I guess that's not how it is at that hospital. This is my first time delivering at this specific hospital. Hold on, guys. It kind of gets like this every night before bed. So, so I went home. It was like 6. It was like 5 something by the time I got home, actually. Excuse me. And at 6:30, I woke up and I felt a really big contraction, like this contraction, because I went home and I like took a nap. So at 6:30, I woke up and I felt like a super, super big contraction. And at that point, I knew like, all right, we have to go back to the hospital because it was one of those contractions where I knew like I need my epidural soon. Do you know what I mean? Like I've had epidurals for all of my pregnancy, for all of my labors, and I have no shame in it. Like I am not for the natural. I cannot do it. So, so I went back to the hospital, and like on my way to the hospital, my pain was like, it was like a 10. It was definitely a 10. And I got there, they're like, yeah, you're gonna have this baby, and yada yada yada. So I go upstairs and I'm like, yeah. I was like, damn, I gotta be like, man, I gotta be like a 7 or 8 by the way these contractions are feeling, because I've gone to a 9 before with Kenzie. I've gone to a 9, so like I know what it feels like, you know. So I'm like, yeah, with these contractions, I've gotta be like a 7 or 8 already. So I get upstairs and I'm just like the oohing and the ahhing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like these contractions. And then I get to the room and they check me, and I'm still a 5. Oh, snappers. BRB. Okay, so I get into the room and they check me, and I'm still a 5. I'm like, no freaking way. But I was 5 centimeters and he was -2, so he had come down a little bit, which was good. So since they saw how much pain I was in, they decided that they were gonna keep me, and I was like, okay, well, you know, I need my epidural like pronto. I don't know why these contractions are hurting so bad and I'm only a 5. Like I don't get it, but I need my epidural. So I was in the triage room, and they were like registering me, like admitting me, basically, not registering me. They're admitting me, asking me all these questions, and like meanwhile they gave me like a different pain medication to like kind of ease the pain a bit, but it didn't really help. So whatever, they brought me to labor and delivery, where I was gonna, like in the room where I was gonna be delivering the baby, and my contractions were just getting stronger and closer and stronger and closer. And then I kept asking, everything I just kept asking was, where is the epidural? And they kept telling me, he's next door, honey. He'll be right over as soon as he's done. And like I heard, like that's all I heard for the hour, like that hour, for the next hour. That's the same thing they kept telling me, and I was just so annoyed. Like, nobody could touch me. Nobody could even look at me. Like that's how bad my contractions were. So, guys, you don't understand what started happening. My body started to push on its own. I have never experienced that, like ever. Like that's how bad like my labor was. At this point, I think the doctor checked me, and I was a 9, and I always told them I'm not giving birth without getting my epidural, and like they kind of respected my wishes. Like I was not about to push this baby out without getting my epidural. I'm not doing it because I was in so much pain already. Like imagine pushing the baby out. Girl, no, hunty, it's not happening. So they so my body started pushing on its own. So every contraction I got, my body started pushing. Like I started bearing down and pushing, and that's something I couldn't control. And that was the most frustrating part because it was painful and I couldn't control it. Like I couldn't stop it from happening. And like sometimes it was, my body would push for like a long period of time. It was like, you know, I don't want to do an example right now because I'm gonna look silly, I'm gonna look a fool. But you know, when you're using the bathroom and you're like, you know, you gotta do your thing. That's just what it happens. Like, my body started pushing and pushing. My water hadn't broken yet. So since my water hadn't broken yet, I had just the baby's head there, and he was in his amniotic sac, and like my body was pushing down, and like all of that pressure, nothing was happening. The baby wasn't coming out or anything because like he was still with his whole amniotic sac intact. So I just started bleeding. It's basically what just started happening from all the pressure down there. So to try to cut a long story short, the anesthesiologist ended up coming in and was like asking me 110 questions while I'm like in this pain. It was just like, dude, like I just need the epidural. I waited long enough for you. Just give it to me, please. But so yeah, he made me sit down. I held on to Brian, and I was literally pinching the life out of Brian's neck, like because of the pain. I was just praying to God. I literally was just saying, God, please help me. Please help me. Because it hurts so bad. Because I'm sitting down now and my body's bearing down, you know, trying to get the baby out. My body was pushing. My body was pushing as I'm sitting there. So I'm sitting on top of all of that pressure. It was just the most painful experience ever. Like, I probably sound like a crybaby, but I don't care. It hurt. So yeah, I mean, that's what happened. I got my epidural, and then after I got the epidural, I might have to nurse him. I nursed him before this video, and he was like really fidgety, and I wasn't nursing well. Alright, hold on. So after I got the epidural, I asked the nurses, I was like, okay, so what's the game plan now? Like, what's the plan? Because now I got the epidural, and like, you know, let's get this ball rolling. I was ready. So they was like, all right, we're gonna give you like 10 minutes to let the epidural, like, you know, do its magic, and then we're gonna break your water, and then you're gonna push. I was basically like, baby head was there, like I was 10 centimeters at this point. So that's exactly what happened. They waited a little bit, and then they broke my water, and they're like, okay, honey, can you give me some practice pushes? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I gave 2 practice pushes, and his head was crowning. And they made me stop because they needed to break down the bed and, you know, finish prepping. And as they told me to stop pushing, I pushed twice, and they told me to stop pushing. So when I stopped pushing, I could literally feel the baby's kick up here. He like kicked himself out, and he came out, and that was it. So the delivery part was super easy, but the labor was really tough for me. Yeah, the hardest delivery, the hardest labor ever. So yeah, now Ocean is 6 weeks. Ocean is 6 weeks old. Oh, there's Kenzie screaming. They're supposed to be sleeping already. Ocean's 6 weeks, and guys, the first few weeks were so crazy. He had really bad jaundice, and like he was like this close to getting admitted into the hospital because of his jaundice, like after we had come home already. But thankfully, and thank God, we were able to like get it under control, and it started to go down. His bilirubin levels started to go down, so that was good. And then Max and Kenzie had a cold, and as much as I tried to keep them away, you know, at a safe distance, he still ended up getting sick. So he got a cold during his first week of life, and I was so paranoid and so like worried about it. So I didn't rest easy because of that. Also, we had to go to the doctors like 3 times the first week, and then the second week, I noticed some bloating in his belly, and then I took him to the ER because, well, I took him to his PCP first. They sent us to the ER because his belly was so bloated. They needed him to have like an ultrasound done. So we go to the ER. We ended up getting admitted. After they did the x-ray, they saw just how much stuff he had in his belly. He wasn't pooping well, and he wasn't passing gas. So basically he had all of that built up in his belly. I'm gonna try to make this story short. He ended up staying 5 days in the hospital, and they were concerned about Hirschsprung's disease. They did a biopsy, came back fine. He doesn't have Hirschsprung's disease. So now basically what we're dealing with is like food allergy issues, because now he had like a bunch of mucus in his poop. So yeah, that's basically what's going on. That was the second week of life, but after we came out the hospital, it was just now like the mucus and those things like that. So that's what we're dealing with now. So yeah, it was the first rough couple of weeks, but I'm starting to enjoy it more now. Not that I wasn't enjoying it before, it was a little bit harder, because there was a lot of commotion. We weren't resting. So yeah, that's our life. Life with 3 kids is eventful. It is. My hands are full, but I mean, I can honestly say that my heart is fuller. It's been good. It's been really good. I get asked a lot. I get asked a lot if Max and Kenzie get jealous, and honestly, they do not at all. They have shown 0 signs of jealousy. And I think a lot of it has to do with, like, a big part of that has to do with us allowing them to be hands-on with Ocean. They're allowed to touch Ocean. They're allowed to kiss Ocean. They're allowed to hold Ocean. I think a lot of that has to do with that. It's not like we're not pushing them away, like, no, get away. I think that has a lot to do with it. So they're really great with Ocean. They love him. Kenzie's constantly saying, "That's my brother. That's my brother." It's the cutest thing ever. And one thing I forgot to tell you guys won't believe this. Max weighed 6 pounds, 13 ounces when he was born. Kenzie weighed 6 pounds, 13 ounces when he was born. Ocean weighed 6 pounds and 13 ounces when he was born. When they told us what Ocean weighed, we were like, no way. Like, I could not believe it. The ultrasound tech was actually telling me that Ocean was weighing like almost 8 pounds. And I'm like, wow, that's gonna be a big baby, like my biggest baby. And then when he was born, they tell me 6 pounds, 13 ounces. I'm like, how is that possible? So yeah, guys, let me take him off the breast and show you guys his face close up, and I'm gonna end this video with that. It's time to put this little guy to bed. Say hi, Ocean. Look at my little guy. Isn't he so tan? Isn't he so cute? He's so tan, my little tan baby. Ocean is the tannest of them all. Max and Kenzie came out white. He's so handsome, my baby. He's so handsome, my baby. I love that little face. I love that little face. Alright, you want to say bye? Say bye, YouTube. See you later. I'll see you later. See you later, alligator. Guys, I'm tired too. I'm so sleep deprived. I'm just kidding. It's been better. It's gotten better. All right. I'm out. Say bye. Wait, let me grab him better. Bye. Say bye. All right, one more time. Say bye.